and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a little bit of a different video. I'm actually headed to the cottage tomorrow, but for you guys, when you see this video, I will already be back from the cottage. And I figured that, you know what, why not do a quick video on how I pack, like my process and what I pack. Now, the process in which I will show you in the video can be used for any type of packing. It can be used for if you're going away like far, or if you're going to a cottage, or maybe just for the weekend, that sort of thing. But I also want to go into some tips that I have for people who maybe have never been to a cottage before and are thinking of going, what sorts of things you should bring, as well as my essentials that I want to always bring with me, and I kind of have it all written down in my notebook. So without further ado, let's get into it. My first thing that I want to talk about are my top 5 tips that I have for people who are going to a cottage. The first thing that I would suggest to do is sit down and create a packing list. As you'll see in the video, I kind of sit down and I write down, okay, based on how many days that I'm going and what I'm sort of planning on doing. Now, the next thing, which packing list kind of leads into this, so the second thing that I would recommend doing is making sure you check the weather. Now, this is a little bit hard if you're packing really far in advance. Sometimes people like to pack a week in advance, whereas for me, I like to check the weather to make sure that I'm bringing clothes that are better suited. Now, of course, if you're going to the cottage, you're going to want to bring like shorts and t-shirts and bathing suits, that kind of stuff, which I'll get into later. But you also want to make sure that you're prepared for any cooler weather that comes, like a sweater and track pants, jeans, maybe like a light jacket, a raincoat, that sort of thing. So the third thing that I want to talk about is a food list. Now, for me, I'm actually going to the cottage with my boyfriend and 2 of our friends, and we wanted to, the 4 of us, kind of figure out what we wanted to eat. Now, it's kind of a little bit of a long trip for me, as I'm going to my boyfriend's cottage for 3 days, and then we're going to drive and go to my cottage, since it's already a far distance, for another 3 days. So the first 3 days, we're actually going to plan out our list. So we sat down and we kind of figured out what we'd want to eat, keeping in mind that we're going to be gone during the day too, exploring things like that. So things that are perfect for putting in our backpacks and carrying with us and being able to eat whenever we want. Number 4, this is for someone who lives, now I'm sure this is around most of you, but for me, I live in Toronto. So the traffic leaving the city on a Friday can be absolutely insane. Everyone's leaving for, whether it's a long weekend or just for a holiday or just for the weekend in general, Fridays is absolutely crazy. So my suggestion is to leave early. Now, I was fortunate enough that I was able to get Friday off work, so I actually, we are leaving super early in the morning to head up, because you know what, we might as well head up during the day instead of leaving in the afternoon, so that way we can go to the beach in the afternoon, sit by the water, kind of relax. So yeah, I would suggest leaving early if you can. If not, maybe plan to leave later at night on a Friday. A lot of people tend to leave right after work, so maybe if you're okay with it and you're going to be waiting, you can leave later at night. But yeah, definitely leave early. And the 5th tip that I have for going to a cottage is to do your research, especially if it's a cottage that you've never been to before. You might know the area, but you've never been to the cottage. You'll have to check to see if there's grocery stores around, if there's a place for you to get any necessities, how close you are to people. A lot of cottages are either on a really busy lake where there's grocery stores and things you can get around, but there's also cottages that are way in the middle of nowhere where you'll have to drive to get somewhere. So yeah, I would suggest doing your research. You can also do your research and see what's around you in order to be able to do. For us, there's a really nice lookout point. It's called the Grotto up in Tobermory, Ontario. So for us, we wanted to do our research to see what time you have to be there, what the process is, what the address is, how busy it usually gets, especially with it being August already. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is my essentials that I bring to the cottage with me. Now, this can be for a trip where you're going somewhere else, but for me, this is what I always make sure, aside from the things that you normally bring, like clothing, track pants, t-shirt, shorts, dress, that kind of stuff. But these are the 8 things that no matter what, I need to have with me in order to be comfortable and to kind of enjoy myself while I'm there. Now for some people they may be different, but these are just the 8 things that I make sure that I always have in my bag with me. So the first thing that I always make sure to bring is a bathing suit. Now not just one bathing suit, I always bring 2, because there's nothing worse than going swimming in the lake or wherever you're going and coming out and sitting there in a wet bathing suit, especially if it's not that sunny. You want to be able to have a second bathing suit that while your first bathing suit's drying, you can wear your second bathing suit and feel comfortable. The second thing that I want to bring is a hat. No matter where I go, I always forget to bring a hat with me, and I'm always stuck sitting there with like my hands blocking the sun, trying to not get a headache from being outside all day. So I always make sure that I bring a hat with me. Now this, for some people, can be a large brim hat. For me, it's actually just a standard baseball hat, something that can cover my eyes if it's sunny, especially if your sunglasses are maybe hurting a little bit, which can tend to happen. Which then goes into the third thing that I'm gonna bring, which is a pair of sunglasses. Now, I have many sunglasses and many pairs of them. It's always hard to pick and choose which ones I want to bring, but I need to be practical in what I'm bringing to the cottage. I don't want to bring my super expensive ones because you're gonna be outside and hiking and swimming and all that kind of stuff. So bring a pair that you're not super attached to but still are comfortable and protect your eyes from the sun. Fourth thing that I want to make sure that I bring with me is a pair of comfortable clothing. Many people think when you go to the cottage it's going to be super sunny and it's going to be hot out all the time, but it's often not, and especially at nighttime when you're kind of out in cottage country, you're going to want to wear track pants or jeans, and you're going to want a sweater or a long sleeve shirt. I'm someone who gets very, very cold very quickly. Like it could be 20 degrees, 25 degrees, and I'm sitting there in a sweater just because I'm always cold. So I want to make sure that I bring one sweater and at least a pair of track pants and a pair of jeans. Something that if you're wearing jeans, you can go out at nighttime. The fifth thing that I want to bring with me is my camera and my GoPro. For me, I love taking pictures. It's one of my favorite things to do, and especially when you're exploring new places, you're going to want to take pictures. And when I'm with friends this weekend and with my boyfriend, of course we're going to be taking pictures, so why not bring my good camera? This is something that I'm okay bringing with me and that I'm comfortable with because it's something that I genuinely enjoy. And my GoPro is something so that I can take some cool videos, and when you're hiking and all those sorts of things, you can see what it was like, and it's a place that no one in my family's been before, so I want to bring all those pictures back to show them as well. The sixth thing that I'm going to bring with me, and for anyone who knows me, knows that I love my snacks. So this is snacks for the car, it's snacks for the cottage, it's snacks for your hiking trip, it's snacks for the beach, it's snacks for the lake. Really just snacks that I want to have with me whenever I'm hungry. I am obsessed with chips. Chips are my favorite snack, so I want to make sure that I bring some sort of snack with me. Now, especially for the car ride, for us, it's going to be about 3-hour drive to get to my boyfriend's cottage, so I want to make sure that the both of us have food that we can eat so that if we don't feel like stopping, we don't have to. Seventh thing that I want people to bring with them and that I want to bring myself is something to listen to. Now, this can be music, it can be audiobooks, it can be podcasts, whatever you choose. Now, for me, sometimes, and I know this is going to sound really weird, but sometimes I just get tired of listening to music. I want to listen to something that keeps my attention going and keeps me thinking and keeps me wondering. So I've really gotten into listening to podcasts and to listening to audiobooks. So I talked to my boyfriend the other day and I said to him, I was like, do you want to listen to an audiobook on the way? Like, what kinds of things are you interested in? So we decided we'd find an audiobook, and you can kind of switch it up. It gives you the option to listen to a book or to listen to music or some podcasts. You never really know what's out there, and it kind of helps pass the time. Next thing you know, 3 chapters into the book, you're already at the cottage. So it's something else that you can do, and something else to... And the final thing that is essential for me to bring with me, it's kind of two things, but they go together, so I figured, you know, might as well lump them in a group, is a pair of flip-flops and running shoes. Flip-flops is huge. Now, I'm not talking like fancy flip-flops that are nice. I'm talking flip-flops that, like, if you had to get them wet, or if you're walking through mud, that when you get home you can wash them off. Things like a pair of running shoes that if you're hiking through dirt, they get all dusty, and you're okay with them getting dusty like that. But they have to be comfortable. Nothing worse than spending an entire day outside being in uncomfortable shoes. So much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little packing video with some tips and some things that I enjoy bringing with me on my trip and sort of my process on how I go about packing. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and please let me know in the comments down below what kind of videos you're interested in seeing. I will leave all of my social media down below, and yeah, that's about all I have. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!